Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live webinar with Elite Currency. My name is Chris Forsick, and as usual, we have our weekly webinar. Great that you're here. Thank you for joining. We got basically a couple of things we want to look at. First of all, Zeus EA basically had some small floating loss from last week on the euro dollar because it was actually in buy positions mostly, and there was a drop, of course, on the euro dollar, as you might have seen. So a small pullback, however, was enough to get out of that small little floating loss. We'll take a look at all the details in this live webinar, and that's the first topic of today. If you have any questions, feel free, of course, to reach out and just let me know. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the first half of 2021. One more week left basically, and we're entering a new quarter and the second half, summertime as well, which sometimes can be a bit slower, but July is usually not that much affected. I think more in August, kind of the middle part of August, things can slow down a little bit. So that's something to certainly be aware of. But July, not that much usually. Okay. So let's close this. All right. There we go. Small floating loss, not as big as the last one, but good profit close after that. So it was a floating loss. It was not a closed loss. And actually, the account closed in gains after the floating loss. The pullback on the euro dollar was sufficient to create that gain and get rid of that floating loss. All right, so good news, everyone happy, and this month is therefore up 3.3% almost, just like last month, and we still have about I guess let's take a look quickly. Let's see, we got about 7 trading days left. I think no, 7 trading days left indeed. So about a third, I guess, or so left of this month. So maybe we can get into that 4% range in June. That's not a staggering amount, perhaps, compared to other EAs, but if you look at the consistency of this EA, it certainly is there. All the floating losses are intra-month, as you can see. Nothing is negative at the end of the month, and that has remained so for all the time that we've been trading it and in backtesting. So that's, I think, the main advantage here, the main benefit of trading Zeus EA is its consistency throughout month by month throughout time here. So June is the same story so far, and happy with that result. Okay, so and as you can see, a good profit. This is the managed account with Key2 Markets here. So that is at no upfront cost. We also have the ability to rent the EA. You can find all of that information here, Forex and CFD, and then go to Zeus EA. Zeus EA options. You can rent it, but keep all the profit, or you could do profit share with no rental cost, but then you share 20 to 25% of the rental cost. Okay, so either way, depends on really what you prefer. Both are an option. Very good steady system here with the Zeus EA. We have a rental as well version, and as you can see, that's also steady as it goes. With this month a little bit less profit, 2.2, but as you can see here, month after month showing a good profit. So let's take a look at the euro dollar now quickly. Of course, our manual analysis was correct, both in the video and in the wave analysis updates on our website. I was looking for a bearish breakout, and that certainly worked out fine. It was a strong push lower in in all in all honesty, here there was a very nice smooth rundown. So hopefully some of you managed to catch some of those pips there. But if not, it's always a good moment to learn from how a impulse can sometimes appear out of nothing in a way. And I say out of nothing because before that it was quite choppy and corrective, right? Now you can see here so that's the floating loss. No wonder, of course. I mean, if the EA itself was apparently bullish, so um, in that case, of course, if there's a strong momentum, it's not surprising that there's some floating loss. But as you can see, a small pullback is all it needs to get back into profitable territory and close that floating loss into closed profit. So I think that's the main benefit of Zeus EA, as you can see here. It's really not a major pullback. It's just to the 23.6 fib, and that's enough to exit in profits. Okay, so I think that's reassuring for everyone to see that occur like that. All right. So now at this moment, still I think there's a higher chance of a pullback to the 38. But of course, if there's a break, if there's basically a push lower flag and continuation, it might be that the 23.6 fib is the max retracement here. Now, Zeus EA only trades the euro dollar. With the Ultima EA, of course, nowadays you trade two pairs, the euro dollar and pound dollar, and also 3 time frames, the 1 hour chart, the 5-minute chart, and the 50-minute chart. The 3 EAs are all from Mislav Nikolic, of course, and you can rent those 3 EAs in one bundle nowadays. So, basically, the pound dollar 1 hour chart would be added, euro dollar 5 and euro dollar 50-minute chart, all three. So there's a good diversification in there as well. And as I've mentioned before, of course, we're getting a little bit closer to finishing our portfolio. We probably will not manage to launch it in June, but we are finished with the control panel for the risk management. We're testing that control panel, and as soon as that is tested, I think we're ready actually to launch a portfolio that basically trades a mixture of EAs through the profit share model. Because now what we have is Zeus EA. You can rent it or trade through profit share. You have a couple of Ultima EAs that you can rent, but there's no portfolio of EAs that you can trade through profit share. So that's our main goal. That's what we want to change and make improve, so that there's more diversification for us and for anyone who is interested in that. All right, Bitcoin looks not as bullish as I expected. I thought that, to be honest, that price would make a bounce at the 78.6 fib or maybe even the 61.8. It hasn't done that. And yeah, it's testing the previous bottom. It could still be a bouncing spot, but it's a little bit more bearish than the price structure here. The price pattern is a little bit more bearish than I expected. And it's in a range, obviously. It is at the bottom of the range, so I still think there's going to be a bounce. But I'm leaning towards this maybe being more a triangle pattern with A, B, C, D, E for a downside, or A, B, C, D, E, and upside. Honestly, at this moment, this triangle could break in both directions, and I think it's 50-50. If it does break to the downside, there could be a strong reaction up as it tests some psychological round levels, and basically long-term Bitcoin holders that are buying the dip here for long-term might step in, at 25K, 22.5K, 20K, and that could create a strong reaction up. Alternatively, if this is a accumulation zone, it could also break to the upside, as buyers step in here, break through this, and then push up to test the previous high. So I think it's 50-50, but if it breaks up, I do expect a pullback because I think sellers will step in as it breaks up. And we'll need to see if it bounces up again for a second time. And if it does break lower, I do expect a pretty fast upside, at least to go back into the 30,000 zone again pretty soon. Okay. Regarding the indices, to me, stock market made the ABC correction as expected. We expected a wave C down. After wave A down, this is impulsive. ABC up is corrective. And we expected one more push lower to retest the previous bottom, and that's what it did. Added that particular analysis in the blog. So now I think it's back into bullish mode. It's a strong push up. It's a close and a reverse. It's a V-valley reversal. So I think after a pullback, this could be a wave 1, 2, and up it goes. The second break above the 20-day could confirm that bullish swing up. So this too looking bullish again to me. All right, so same for DAX, although the correction was a little bit milder. DAX is a little different because we didn't have the ABC yet completed, I guess, or it's not 100% clear if that is finished as yet. DAX is actually looking, from a price action point of view, more bullish because it's riding the 20 EMA still. I think it all depends on how price will respond when it makes this pullback. It's making the pullback already, as you can see. So will it bounce at the support trend line, for instance? Will it bounce at these fibs? If it does, it could be just as bullish as the US stock market, okay? But that's something I would like to see. Anyhow, if you're interested in knowing more about waves, by the way, check out our video of yesterday, the live webinar of yesterday. It's recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so you can check out how to trade waves 3, by the way, on our YouTube channel. All right, so yeah, I just actually wanted to show you the euro dollar because of Zeus EA. Otherwise, do you have any questions? We still have a couple of days left, so I won't look at it. Doesn't make sense to really look at other systems at the moment. We will have 2 weeks from now an update on June, how June ended up. Next week we'll still be in June, but 2 weeks from now we'll look at a June review, of course, as usual. No questions? Any questions? Any questions about Zeus EA? As you can see, those floating losses do not always occur. That's not a must necessarily, by the way. With this particular account, we hardly had it. We had a small floating loss here in December, July, but these are really small. You don't even see the difference between the red and the orange lines here, right? There's a very minor difference here, so it's not always like that. And this rental version EA on the Milton broker here, as you can see, had some great months last year with 8%, 6.5%. This year a little bit less, but still around that 4% average. And yeah, I think it's a great logic, great system, 70% win rate, 1.5 profit factor. And a very steady drawdown here, in this case 25%. Of course, drawdown can happen, don't get me wrong. Those things do occur, but yeah, it's just great news to see to see all these trades end up in profits yesterday yet again. So yeah, very happy with this EA. Feel free to join through rental or profit share. And if you're looking at profit share, if you do more than 5,000 euros, you get a 20% profit share rate. Otherwise, it's 25. Both percentages are, I would say, good deals. If you're not sure about the EA, you want to try a rental, you can try it for 1 month, just for 89 euros, by the way. Or, of course, you can grab the discount for 12 months. Of course, it's cheaper, obviously. But if you're not sure, you can always try it 1 month and then upgrade to the 12-month one. That's it for today. Hope to see you as a Zeus EA member or perhaps a SWAT EA member, or both. Depends on what your preference is. We got manual trading, we got automated trading, of course, or perhaps you like to do, as I said, both. It's up to you. We're going to be back tomorrow with the update on the euro dollar and pound dollar, of course, as usual. We got more live webinars next week. So see you all very soon. And once again, feel free to reach out through the chat, ask any questions that you like, and I will try to answer, of course. But wish you all great trading in the meantime. Cheers. Bye-bye.